Hey guys, Dennis here, and I wanted to do something a little bit different for this video. I want to show you what's in my EDC kit. This is a kit that I bring with me everywhere, and I'm really proud of how I put it together, and it serves me really well, and I found it to be really useful. Just for a little context, this is the core part of my everyday carry. This is kind of like a urban survival kit for me and for parenthood. I typically carry it in my backpack, which I take to and from work. And if I go anywhere else, like if we're going to the park or somewhere else on the weekends, I'll just grab it out of my backpack and throw it in the car with me. Or if we're doing a longer kind of trip, a day trip, I use this bag. And this is my man purse. This bag is what I refer to as my theme park bag or amusement park bag. This is the bag I want to take with me if we're out and about with the family all day going somewhere, or if I'm going on a trip to the in-laws or something, like a road trip. This is the bag that I take, and I just take my EDC kit and put it in here, and I'm good to go. This bag already has a couple other things that are very essential, like bottles of water. These ones are empty. Maybe a towel. If you have kids, a towel is a very handy thing to have around. Wipes. Lots of wipes. Faces, hands, other parts. Power. A rechargeable phone battery, and any wires that you might need. So this stuff stays in this bag here, and I've got some similar items in my backpack that I bring to work every day that are more essential for my commute and for being at work. Now before I really get into it, I do want to point out a few things that are always on my person. I carry a little Spyderco knife here. This is a short enough blade that it's legal to carry in all the places that I go. Obviously you can't take it on a plane, but major cities, most of them allow a knife that's this short, here in the States anyway. On my keychain, I always have one of these small Swiss Army knives, and this is mostly used for splinters. I get a lot of splinters, and it seems like just a very common thing to happen. So it's really handy to have a small, sharp knife that you're only going to use on, little food prep sometimes maybe. Most importantly, this has tweezers, or it did have tweezers until I noticed today that it doesn't have tweezers, and so I got to buy a new one, which kind of got me thinking today about doing this video. These little scissors actually come in handy for all the time, cutting open toys or mail or hangnails. They're super handy to have a little pair of very sharp scissors, very sharp knife. It's got this, I never use whatever, it's nail file. Oh, it's rusty. Shows how much I opened that one. Also essential, the bottle opener. There's a bottle opener on this keychain. So, before you say, why isn't there a knife in your EDC kit? One other thing that I've started carrying with me that's super handy, especially if you're a maker. I keep in my wallet this is a tape measure. I've cut it down to about 31 inches, but this has been super handy for when you're out and about and you see something for a project and you don't quite know if it's going to fit or if it's the right dimensions. Super handy. I love having the ability to measure something up to 30 inches with me at all times. So yeah, I actually use this a lot. Okay, so let's get into the kit. So this is a tool roll made by Osprey, and it's very lightweight. It's made for toiletries, and it has a little hook here for traveling. You can, I guess, hang this on the back of a door or whatever. Starting at the top, you get a free mirror, and I haven't removed the protective film here yet because I haven't had to use it yet. And it is Velcro here, but you could, I guess, hang it there for, I guess, shaving or whatever. It's meant to be like a little, travel roll kind of thing. Alright, so first things, snacks. I always bring Clif Bars with me. Hungry children are not fun. Neither's a hungry wife. She doesn't really watch these videos, I hope. Next up is hand sanitizer wipes. I found these work better than the sanitizing gel because you can throw them away afterwards and they get the dirt off, whereas the gel just kind of rubs the dirt around. And so I really enjoy having these for before eating a meal, or if you have to do something dirty or you touch something gross. Just in general, it's, you know, good idea to have something to clean your hands. Duct tape. I don't really need to explain this, I think. I think every kit should have some tape. Duct tape is pretty much the standard MacGyver-like, very useful for lots of things. Not much to say about that. This section here is my tools. Now, I have to tell you, I carried a Leatherman, I carried a Gerber tool for a long time, but when I really stopped to take a look at it, I realized that it wasn't great at a lot of things. It was a pretty good pair of needle nose pliers, which is what it got used for most of the time. The screwdrivers got used, but they never quite worked great because the shape, they weren't long enough. They were really only good for a couple different size screws. If the screws were recessed, forget it. I realized that it's not a great thing to carry around in an EDC kit because I want tools that work really well. So I went and found these, and I love these pliers. These are Knipex combination pliers, needle nose. They've got a cutter on here, and they've also got this neat little round section here that is really good for gripping kind of smaller kind of size pieces. And then this part here is good for bigger. And it's hard to see, but this side over here is rounded a little bit. And what that does is actually, as you clamp onto something, anything flat, it gives it, let me see if I can show you. When you grip onto something flat like this, it actually gives you 3 points of contact, which is really nice. So it grips it really well, and I just love these pliers. So I carry these. They get a lot of use. Very handy piece of kit here. What they're not great at is nuts and bolts. Anything with flat surface that you want to grip, like I just said, like something thin and flat, maybe even up to this thickness is pretty good, but once you get bigger, it doesn't really work very well. So I did pick up these. These are pretty cool. They're adjustable up to 1 inch. These are also super handy for like straightening out wire and pieces of metal and stuff, because they've got a really, I think it's almost 10-to-1 clamping action here. Very good positive adjustment here. You have to push a button and then they won't slip. Yeah, I just love these. I take these out and just play around with them sometimes just because they're fun. To be honest, I think I've only used them once so far. The day I do need them, I'm going to be so glad I had them, and so they stay in the kit. This next tool is my favorite tool that I've bought in maybe the past 3-5 years. And I'm serious. This is just a super handy screwdriver. It's got a lockable, I don't even know what you call these, but they take bits. And brings me on to the next section here. In a little Altoids tin here, this is the perfect size for 2-inch hex bits. Problems with a multi-tool is that you're stuck with a certain number and combination of screwdriver tips. With this, I can mix and match and cover most screws that I'm going to encounter. The ones I carry with me now are, let's see, two size flatheads, small one and a kind of medium size. The number 2 Phillips, which is ubiquitous, of course. I also carry a number 1 Phillips and a number 0 Phillips. Comes in handy for replacing batteries in children's toys, because most kids' toys have a little screw because it's a safety thing that you don't want the kids to get in there, but then the adults have to go and find a screwdriver that fits. I also have a square bit, because I just had some extra room in here. And then also a couple of, there's a T25 and a T20. They go in here. There is a magnet that pulls it in, but then this also locks it in place so it won't come out, which is super nice. The only thing I don't like is that this ring right here turns, and it's just because it's part of the locking mechanism. But so many times I've wanted to just like, you can't. But I tell you what, this great size screwdriver, and basically you're getting in here. I've got, I think, eight bits, little piece of paper towel there just to keep them from rattling around, and this little compact package replaces a whole box of screwdrivers. It's awesome. All right, so those are my tools, and of course, cordage. I have a section of 550 paracord in here. I just think you should always have cordage with you at all times. If you are in a hotel room and you have to hang up some wet clothes or something, you make a little clothesline. If something breaks, you can use this for repairs. Shoelaces. You should just always have rope with you. That's all there is to it. Behind the bits, I carry a whole bunch of quarters. This is mostly for vending machines and parking meters. Oh yeah, of course, a little flashlight. And this one has bright, medium, and low. You just need a flashlight. Every kit should have a flashlight. I don't know what to say about it. Okay, I guess I'll say a few things. Something rolls underneath a table and you gotta go look for it. The power goes out where you are. You're in an elevator and the power goes out or something. It's just always good to have a light on you. All right, which brings me to the final pouch. Let me get to this last. But here is a notebook. I think it's important to always have some kind of paper with you, and I use this notebook for jotting down ideas on my lunch break, or just to figure stuff out. I make a lot of lists. I use this for planning camping trips and just notes and stuff. And if I need to tear a piece of paper out of here to leave a note for someone, I can do that. Of course, you need a good pen. I use the Fisher Space Pen. This is, I think they call this like the military version. It's light, it's reliable, writes upside down. That's the main thing that I like about the Fisher Space Pen. I don't really care about water resistance or whatever, but being able to write upside down I think is critical. And yes, I could carry a pencil, but a pencil could break, and pens are... I like to write with pens. That's a preference. Okay, this right here is a cocktail kit. No, just kidding. It was a cocktail kit, and I just liked the size of this metal case for a first aid kit. So that's what I put all my first aid stuff in. I also have in here a little... This is an LED USB light, and this will plug into a battery pack, like the one I showed you earlier, and it's super bright. It'll light up an entire room, and it's dimmable, this one, and you tap it. This one is, you got a tap thing. I think I paid maybe $1 for this online, and I bought like 5 of them for $5 on Amazon. And it's just really handy because, yeah, I've got the little flashlight. It's not super bright. This and the battery pack, I can literally light up an entire room for hours. So power outages, I'm covered here. And I just wrap it in a little piece of plastic to kind of protect the contacts. I carry Vaseline. I've always carried Vaseline. It's good for chapped lips. I'm thinking about not carrying this actually because it's kind of bulky. I can get a little packet of it, the travel one's just a little like tear open packet. I might replace that with that because this is kind of bulky. A a little mini towel. This is one of those small, like, you know, it grows when it gets wet, kind of. It's called a light load towel. Lactate. I'm lactose intolerant, and sometimes I like to eat ice cream. That's all that is. If you're not lactose intolerant, you're not going to put lactate in your first aid kit, of course. But this, again, the purpose of this kit is not to save my life. It's not like I crashed my plane into the wilderness and I need to survive for 7 days. This is out and about, out with the family or in the city or something, and I don't want to be inconvenienced. That's what this kit is. Why give yourself a hard time when you can carry a few things and be prepared for many inconvenient situations? Ibuprofen, that's a standard. If I pull a muscle or twist my ankle, or it's just it's a miracle drug, really, I think. Acetaminophen, just as an alternative. This is eye wash. This is buffered eye wash, and it's a little tube of basically salt water. It's, you know, neutral salinity. Tear off the top here. You get like a little hole, and you can squirt this into your eye and flush stuff out. I've actually used this. I threw it in here as a whim. Used it when my daughter got something in her eye, and we were out, and what were we going to do? I said, I have eye wash. My wife was like, you have eye wash? Of course you do. But this is also really good for washing out cuts. It's sterile, is what I'm saying. Like, it's a little thing of sterile water for anything you would need a little thing of sterile water for. And it's just really handy to have. Band-Aid. There should be more Band-Aids in here, actually, but I need to replenish this a little bit. Along with the Band-Aids, some triple antibiotic ointment. That goes on the cut. Helps prevent infections, of course. I forgot this was in here. Glasses cleaner, because I wear glasses. It's not good to rub your shirt on your glasses, because it can scratch them really, really badly. So, handy thing to have. Pepto-Bismol. This is, again, like personal. Like, maybe you're an Imodium kind of person. You know you can take Imodium when you get a stomach ache, and it works really well for you. These chewable Pepto-Bismol tablets work really well for me, so I always carry them. A sewing kit. This, super small. Usually you can live with a tear in a piece of clothing unless that tear is keeping your clothing on, and then it's kind of important. It's also really handy because there's a needle in here. That's good for splinters. A needle works better than a knife for cutting away some of the skin to get like a foreign object out. This is a new addition, and I never really carried a source of fire with me. What changed my mind was in the couple weeks span of time, there was 2 occasions where I wish I had a way to make a flame. Not just a way to make fire, not like I was going to build a fire, but I just needed a flame. One was I used some of the paracord, and after you cut it, the end frays, and you really need to seal it with heat. And if I just had a quick flame, that would have been so much more useful. And the other reason was simply there was a birthday party, and we had to go hunting around for matches or a lighter. So this is a Bic Mini. It's just a good size lighter. It's very reliable, lightweight. So I decided to throw it in the first aid kit. Okay, I think that's it. I think that covers it. So, not a ton of stuff. You know, this is a little bit bulky. I'm not worried about the weight and bulk here, though, because this is not a kit that I'm not putting this in my pocket. This is something that I'm always going to have a backpack to throw it in. This is so I don't have to go hunting around for, did I get my pliers? Did I get quarters? Did I grab my flashlight? You know, so this has everything all in the places where I know it'll be. So let me know what you guys think. If I missed anything really obvious, if I have some really useless things in here. I don't know if I covered all the uses of everything. I can't stress enough the snacks. You should have this. Saved us. We were on a car ride one time. We hit traffic. Kids melting down in the back seat. wife was grumpy. I pulled out 2 Clif Bars, broke them in half. Kids are eating, they're happy. Dad saved the day. So, snacks, water, towel. If you're a parent, you should always have those. And then think about all this other stuff. Alright guys, again, let me know in the comments what you thought about this, what your kit looks like. I'm curious to see anything that I missed that I might want to include. And if you like this sort of stuff, let me know, because this is a little bit different. I don't usually do videos like this on my channel, but there are a lot of things I want to do kind of show and tell, so I will be putting out more videos like this, and you guys let me know if you like them. Alright, thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, you might want to hit the subscribe button. You might want to click that bell down below when you get notified of new videos. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.